three.
Stop it! Don't let do him like that! Mercy! Did you not get the memo?
What is good, everybody? It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again, bringing in our old favorite back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Bando B back on the show. What's good, Brody?
What's good, y'all? What's good?
Man, you ain't been on here in a little minute, man. I'm trying to think of the last time you was actually on here.
It's been a while. It's been a while. How everybody doing?
I think we was all in the basement.
We were. A very wet and drenched basement.
Yeah. Pause. They did. Man, so much has gone on in a week's time, just since last week's pod. I mean, we went from being on cloud nine with our Chicago Bears to pretty much being on the floor. Before we get into that, actually, we want to let you guys know about the Love for Love giveaway. We are giving away, if you're watching on the YouTube video. If you're not, go check us out on YouTube. Listen to it here, though. But go check us out on YouTube. But listen to it here. But check us out. We're giving away one of these lovely Chicago Bear heads, being joined, linking up with Martinelli Originals. They are... have partnered with us. This video is sponsored by them. This podcast is sponsored by them. They partnered with us to give back to you guys because we are over. Actually, I think we're over 2,700 subscribers on the YouTube now. So y'all been coming out showing mad love. We appreciate y'all, man. Come through to the pod for much, man. Big love, man. It's crazy, G. Hey, I posted the picture today to how we started, where we at, or whatever it is. And man, seeing us at 50 subscribers, what was that? Probably 3-4 years ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. So y'all have come out and shown so much love. Bruh, just to see the growth, yeah. But y'all have shown so much love, so we're going to be giving back to you. The way that you can enter, you can enter by retweeting the pinned tweet on my profile or just going to the Windy City of the Breeze YouTube page. That's all you have to do is go there. If you're there and you ain't subscribed yet, subscribe. You ain't got nothing else going on in your life, get it together. But yeah, man, let's jump right into these sports, man. We appreciate the Bears, man. The Bears, I was actually up by y'all, which y'all have some of the worst internet in history. So I'm impressed that you're even able to be on this Zoom call right now, my boy.
Listen, internet crisp and clear. You was the one that was lagging for me a little bit ago, so I got to make sure I'm able to hear you.
Hey, look, I'm here. I don't know why it was lagging. That's wild. It's crisp on my end, you know what I'm saying? But man, me and Bando, we was watching the game together. We was pretty much irritated the entire game. Nothing was going right for the Chicago Bears. Absolutely nothing went right for the Chicago Bears. What did you see in that game that you pretty much want to completely throw away?
Everything, the whole game. From start to finish, really, I didn't see any consistency from the offense of the Bears. They looked out of whack. They looked like they had a new quarterback they had never really used before. The defense actually did pretty well, but there were still plays where there was breakdowns on defense up the middle. They looked struggled a little bit, or quite a bit actually. So I would say throw that whole game away. Let's just forget about that game, act like that game never happened, and move forward. But as far as the Bears and everything, it's been a real struggle for them. As we saw in that last game, it's really just been a hard time for them offensively. So there's a lot that they still need to work on.
Yeah, and I feel like the offense was the biggest struggle, and it has been the biggest struggle. We've seen it be the biggest struggle completely through. You know what I'm saying? But when you looking at this team, I got to look at Matt Nagy's play calling, how he was calling the game. I understand Nick Foles is brand new with these receivers. I understand that you have to build a rapport with from quarterback to head coach, I understand that. But he was calling the game scared. Let's say what it was. We're seeing lateral passes side to side. Like, he was calling the game like Nick Foles didn't have an understanding of what the system was. Like honestly, he was calling the game pretty much the same as when Mitch was there, and I didn't see any improvement on the play calling side. I thought I was going to lose my mind when it was 3rd and 1 and he brought in Cordero Patterson. Can we just eliminate that altogether?
Yeah, I think a big thing, especially for the Bears, is going to be what Matt Nagy chooses to do. Like you said, their play calling was one of the worst play called games I've actually probably ever watched, where decisions that he made just weren't smart. If he was trying to do a trick play when they've been having success running it up the middle, not that they did very well running the ball in that game, but where they could have had avenues for success, he was choosing the exact opposite route. So honestly, I put a lot of the blame on Matt Nagy with that game, just for the fact that his play calling, like you said, was just horrendous. Like everything that he chose to do, as like you said, 3rd and 1, and he brings in Cordell Patterson. Like we didn't go into the draft and get Montgomery for a reason. Like Montgomery hasn't shown us that he can get us a 3rd and 1. All those type of things. Those are the things that I feel like definitely are killing the Bears right now.
And it's not like, my problem is you're not learning from your mistakes. Like we've seen 3-4 times this season that play don't work. Like at some point you got to learn from like we've seen it. We know, we can tell you for certain that play don't work. We've seen it on 3rd and 1 not work. Like to continue going back to that is just insanity. And so it's mind blowing to me what we were seeing Sunday night. And listen, it's when you look at how they're game planning against it, I understand, like I said, I understand that I think they're going to get better. I think the offense is going to get better. I think Nick Foles is going to get more comfortable. That offensive line, that's a whole nother topic. We can get into that as well. But you have to look at what they did and see that game was completely called. Probably the worst I've ever seen a Chicago Bears game called. And I've seen Mark Trestman here. And the only reason I say that is because you clamored for your guy. You said all week, this is the guy. He understands the system. We're seeing things we've never seen before. We're able to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then you come out and you don't even give a competitive effort. Like, I'd be cool with it if the game ended 19-17. We was competitive. We was going back and forth. It's a great defensive game. Look, the Colts is the number 1 defense in the NFL. You got to give them credit for that. But you didn't even compete offensively.
Yeah, I think a crazy thing that we saw throughout that whole game is almost like you said, Matt Nagy looked scared. He looked like he didn't want to give plays that, because they're in the game, there are certain plays that make game difference or game changing plays. And we didn't see any of that for the Bears. A lot of the passes they were getting led to first down sometimes, or they did a lot of curl routes or slants. But we want to, those, if you look at what the Colts came out and did offensively, they attacked the Bears defense. They went right at the Bears defense. And they didn't seem scared. They didn't seem nervous to play. Phillip Rivers seemed confident. He was talking garbage like he did the whole time. And it showed that the Bears were backing down.
And you got to respect Phil. I was irritated that whole game, bro. But let me tell you something. You got to respect Phillip Rivers, man. That man was talking trash. And not only was he talking trash, Joe, he backed it up. Bro, I'm talking about, what was that? Was it in the 4th quarter? When he was talking back and forth to Roquan, and he was like, Jonathan Isaac burnt you. He burnt you, man. He burnt you. Oh, he didn't? He didn't? Okay, we coming right at you. This man ran the ball right at Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith filled the gap and got blown up. Bro, stop talking, bro. Stop talking. Phillip Rivers is out here for real, bro. Bro, those are the things, like, you gotta give the coach credit. You have to give the coach credit. Listen, Phillip Rivers completing like 78% of his passes. It's wild out here. But when I look at the Bears team, my problem is not that they lost the game. My problem is y'all didn't even show up. Like, y'all dang near could have gave a better effort staying on the bus. Like, y'all didn't even show up. You didn't even take a bus to the game. And you could have gave a better effort staying on the bus. Like, it was a joke. Now, defensively, listen, Muzz want to talk about the defense, want to talk about how the defense struggled, how the defense is open in the middle of the field. Defense gave up 1 touchdown to Phillip Rivers, and the rest was field goals. Your offense got to do something. They got to do something.
And believe it or not, the defense overall really didn't do a terrible job.
Right. I don't think they did bad.
The thing is, we've seen our defense do better. We know what our defense can do. But they did hold Phillip Rivers to 1 touchdown. At the end of the day, our offense has to kick in sometimes and be able to put points on the board. Because it wasn't like they put up a 40 ball on us. We know how the Dallas Cowboys. So the point is, we just have to, offensively, we have to get a kickstart somewhere.
And like I said in I don't know if it was on I think it was last week's pod. It was last week's pod with P Kid on it. Defense all across the NFL the numbers are up. Like, and I truly believe it's because of the bubble. I truly believe it's because of no fans, because like Phillip Rivers and them went for it on 4th down. And Soldier Field, this 4th down, that place is rocking. That mug is right. You got some pressure. You gotta feel that pressure, and then you got a rookie trying to perform under that pressure. Sometimes you crack. Sometimes you don't get the job done. Ain't none of that this year. Now you just out there playing pickup ball. You just out there playing pickup ball, and you trying to make it happen. And listen, and so you got the best offensive players on one side versus the best defensive players, but all of the rules are slanted toward the offense now. So of course they gonna kill you. Of course they gonna kill you. So I don't have no gripes with the Bears defense and all. I would like them to be better. I would like them to be in the backfield all day. I don't think they're the 2018 defense, but when I look at it, Bears have given up 20 points a game. And we all said coming into this season, if you can't score more than 21 points a game, you don't deserve to be in this league right now.
Sure don't, because when you look at what the rest of the teams are doing, they're putting up 30s, 40s. So if we can't even put up 20, you're not going to stand a chance against as many teams. We know the game coming up Thursday. If you put up as many points as you did in this last game, it's not going to cut it. We know that for.
Well, if you put up 3 points against anybody in this league right now, it's not going to cut it. But yeah, let's take a look at next week's game. We got tomorrow's game. This week's game. I'm sorry, tomorrow's game. We are recording this on Wednesday. So tomorrow's game. What do you see from this Buccaneers team coming in that scares you? Because listen, Tom Brady coming off a 5-touchdown weekend, but he lost all his weapons.
I'll tell you what, though, man. When Tom Brady's throwing the ball, hey, literally, I could be out there catching that ball. He puts the ball in people's hands like I've never seen before. It literally just falls into their hand. All they have to do is put their arms out. So whoever's on the field with him, he's going to make it work. And it's a threat that the Bears need to be ready for. Because if you look at our defense, if our defense plays how it did last week, not that it was terrible, but that's not going to cut it against them. A big thing that we see up the middle, if the Bears are vulnerable up the middle like that, you think Tom Brady's not going to see that? He's going to exploit that literally the whole game. The whole game, you're going to see him exploit that. And if Fuller is falling for shakes the whole game, he's going to exploit that the whole game. If
Kyle Fuller fall for every double fade,
Brady, he's going to take advantage of that. You can't give Tom Brady time to think. You have to make him make action and throw the ball. So really next week, as much as it falls down on our offense and seeing what our offense does, it falls down on our defense as well. Because if he puts up 35 points, we know this Bears team isn't – yes, they have before, but I'm not expecting them to put up 30, 40 points. I'm not expecting that from them. But if our defense makes it a winnable game like they did last week, where they put up maybe 20, 23 points, that's a winnable game for the Bears. Our offense just has to show up. We have to see the Nick Foles that we know we're capable of, and Matt Nagy has to allow him to be able to play as well.
Yeah, and listen, coming into this game, you coming up against now they secondary is a little softer. The Bucks secondary, you can attack them if you get, but that front seven, they coming at you. And so it's big on the offensive line to create something. And Matt Nagy, you cannot allow yourself to become one-dimensional. I said in a video today, this is a RPO offense. RPO, run pass option. If you take that R out of there and all you got is the pass option, first off, nobody's full. Second off, you're going to be in trouble because these boys is coming at you. It's no joke on that front seven. So this this is going to be probably the offensive line's biggest game, because this is a front seven that, with a quarterback who has the injury concerns that Nick Foles has, if you not for real, if you not really protecting your guy, you could be in trouble. Talking about these guys are going to hit him. These boys are going to hit him. You could be in trouble all week long, and it could affect the rest of your season.
Yeah, and I think a big thing as well is, like, with our offensive line, they have to be together. A lot of times we see so many breakdowns with the offensive line where they miss somebody they're supposed to block, or they allow the line to bend, and they allow people to put pressure on Nick Foles. Now, given Nick Foles is experienced quarterback, he still feels pressure, just like every other quarterback in this league feels pressure. If you don't give him a chance to create for you, he's not going to be able to create. He's going to be worried about, maybe, do I have to run the ball? Do I got to get out of the pocket? And we don't want that. We see what happens when Nick Foles runs out of the pocket. It was horrific last week. He literally didn't go past the yard. He ran so slow.
Yeah.
We need him to live in the pocket.
It was tough. That was a scary moment.
It was bad. And he got tackled. I thought he was injured. I thought it was over with. But with the offensive line, they have to stand their ground. You can't allow the Saints line to murder you like last week. You can't allow that to happen. If you want Montgomery to be able to have a good game, you have to create holes for him. If you want Nick Foles to be able to have a good game, you have to give him time. You don't have to give him 10 seconds, but you have to give him enough time to be able to hit the man, to be able to be comfortable to throw an accurate pass at least. So right. I put a lot on the offensive line. We know our offensive line is trash, but if they work together, they can be better than what they have been. So
all we need is mediocre. All we need is mediocre. All I need you to be is a top 15 offensive line. I don't need you to be top 5. I would love it, but look, I see Charles Leno out there. It ain't gonna happen. And y'all done paid him all this. It's not gonna happen. He's not good. He's not good. I don't know what happened to him. He not good. Like, he out here getting people killed. He got hit lists on people. Like, it's crazy. So I think that when we go into this game, and I'll end up giving my keys that I gave in the video today. Well, I can give them right now, actually. Key number 1 for me was getting Nick Foles into a rhythm early. You got to allow him to get – we saw Nick Foles when he came in and was able to get into a rhythm. Granted, against terrible Atlanta defense. I want to say this again. A terrible Atlanta defense. Watching them go out there versus Aaron Rodgers was like watching me and you go out there versus Aaron Rodgers. It was disrespectful. They shouldn't have been on the field. Horrible. But you got to allow him to get in his rhythm. And look, if you give him the time, like I said, he can pick this secondary apart. This secondary ain't nothing to be worried about. It ain't. It's not terrible. But it's not great. Like, it's not nothing that I'm staying up late at night. But this front seven is. So this offensive line got to hold that pressure. You got to establish the run game. That was another key for me. And the third thing for me is this defensive line. We got to get in that backfield. We have to. Look, you're not going to stop Tom Brady. You're not. He the GOAT. And there's not many sports where I can say a player is the GOAT. I don't do it in the NBA. I don't really do it in baseball, although Mike Trout is making a heck of an argument. But in football, it's undoubtable that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And he's still doing it at 43 now? 43, 44, something like that. So you got to look, if he's sitting back in that pocket, the Bears going to lose. If he able to sit back there and just chill and get rid of the ball and kind of dump it off, especially across the Bears going to lose. But if we can make him use his feet a little bit, look, he about as mobile as Nick Foles is, maybe less so. So if we can make him use his feet, I can see this being a big game for Robert Quinn. Because this is one of them games where if Akeem Hicks can get pressure up the middle, Robert Quinn can come to the other side and get that sack. And if you hit Tom a couple times, he gonna get flustered. Now, is it going to throw him completely off his game? No, he probably still throw for 4 touchdowns. But it's better than allowing him to just sit back there and chill.
Yeah, I think as far as it goes with Tom Brady, there has to be consistent pressure the whole game. If you lie off of him for a few minutes, there's 2 touchdowns on the board. That's just how it is against him. So as a defense, you have to come in prepared, knowing that he's gonna try and pick you apart. You have to know that he's gonna look for, okay, where are their weaknesses at, and he's gonna find them. But the weaknesses have to be ready. So up the middle, our cornerbacks, they have to be better. The line itself, the defensive line, we already know Khalil Mack is going to be getting triple teamed. It's just how it goes.
Absolutely. That's why I said this is going to be Robert Quinn game.
If Hicks is bringing pressure, Robert Quinn is going to be able to get open, like you said. So,
right.
All right. I actually agree with you on that. I expect Robert Quinn to have a really good game. But I also want to see Roquan Smith have a really good game. I feel like if Roquan Smith has a good game, we'll see a whole different Bears offense. Our defense,
yeah.
I'm sorry about that. So we'll see a completely different Bears defense if Roquan Smith has a really good game. So it all depends. You know, we got to put pressure on Tom Brady. We have to be getting we got to try to get picks. I feel like the Bears have had multiple opportunities to get picks, but they drop them so much that it kills me.
Mac dropped the easy one last week.
Yeah. So those we got to have those against this Buccaneers offense. We can't allow them to be on the field. We need the Bears. They have to control the play clock. They have to be there. They have to be engaged and focused, especially the offense. So
yeah, agreed, man. Agreed. Like, and especially the point about Roquan Smith. Listen, our linebackers definitely got to be better. Danny Trevathan, where you been all season, brother? I saw you on the back of the milk carton last week. Man, I'm telling you, like, somebody come find this man. But you know, Roquan, look, you a high pick, bro, and I think Roquan is a very talented player, but it ain't there right now. It's not there. None of it is there right now, and so as a whole, I can't blame the defense for much. You giving up 1 touchdown to a dude that throws, that's thrown, passing 78%. Look, we doing something right. So I can't rag on the defense, but if you don't get pressure on time, it's gonna be a long Thursday night. And I'm gonna be, I won't be live after the Thursday night game. Again, I'm not avoiding it. I tried to go live last week. It just didn't work out, you know, booty internet. But I won't be live because I will actually be on my way to Ohio. So I'll be in a car watching the game on my way to Ohio. Probably gonna be watching on the hotspot. Trying to just make sure I'm caught up on this mug. But hey, you never know, bro. Southern Illinois signal down there is iffy, bro. So, and I'm heading to Ohio, so it's Ohio. You know what I'm saying? You ever go to Cleveland for vacation? Apparently I am. I'm not going to Cleveland. We actually going to the Hall of Fame. We're going down to Cuyahoga National Park. We're going to walk out there, weather permitting and all that stuff, you know, do a little hiking trip, enjoy time, just me and the wife. And then we're going to hit the Hall of Fame. So I'll probably do a little vlog from there as well, and get some pics and all that stuff from there. So it should be a good time, man. It should be a good time. So the whole point of that was I'm going to be watching on the road, so I'm not going to be able to go live. I'll probably end up posting a video when we get to the hotel because we're probably going to leave Thursday probably around like 7-ish. So we'll probably get there about 3 in the morning. So I might even post the morning after. But we'll see. I might post in the car. We'll see. We'll see where life takes us. But give me a prediction for tomorrow night's game, man.
I am going to say, and not just saying this because I am a Bears fan, but I believe that Nick Foles is going to show up tomorrow, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say the Bears win 26-23.
You really believe they're going to show up. And the defense showed up, apparently.
I believe in my Bears.
Hey, look, I believe in them too, but not really. That sounds terrible, but honestly, I do believe in the Bears. I don't know if I see them winning this one though. I have to see what Matt Nagy is gonna come out with, but I'm actually gonna predict that they lose this one. I'm gonna say Bucks 28, Bears 19.
Okay.
So Tough game. And honestly, I see him getting to 19 the same way that the Colts did. 19, field goal, touchdown,
I
field
see
goal.
him getting there off defense.
Right. Might not even be an offensive touchdown.
But I expect our defense to have a big game tomorrow. I think the defense is going to show up. I think the Bears do have one of the best defenses in the league, regardless of what the numbers say. The Bears defense is an excellent defense. We have superstars on our defense, so they just got to show up, and I believe they'll do that tomorrow.
Bet it up. So let us know in the comments below, how well do you think the Chicago Bears will do in tomorrow's game? Although by the time I post this video, it could be tonight's game. We'll see where life takes us. But yeah, let's switch gears, man. Let's talk a little bit of NBA before we do that, man. Big shout out to at NF Brotherly Love on Instagram. If y'all know, never forget. That's the shirt I'm wearing. Yeah, y'all see it. Y'all see it right here. Never forget. Y'all go support him at NF Brotherly Love. Man, he actually, if so, for y'all that don't know, we play football all the time. And he's actually the wide receiver on our football team. We did before COVID, pre-COVID, you know what I'm saying? He's actually the wide receiver on our football team. So, no brotherly love real well, man. He good people. Y'all go show him love, show him support. Support his brand. He got more merch coming out, so y'all get into that. Let's hop on. Actually, come on the show, bro. Love to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, post-Rona, pre-Rona, we can get you in here on Zoom, same style. But yeah, man, honestly, let's switch gears here. Let's go to a little bit of NBA talk. We're going to talk about, man. What's your reaction to the finals so far, bro?
Believe it or not, when I saw that Dragic and Bam was done, I thought that ended the series. Yeah. But I know I'm going a little bit further back, not even talking about last game where the Lakers won, even though that was one of the best final games. The game before with Jimmy and them proved to me that Miami deserved to be there. And then we just saw it follow over into this next game. The only difference is in this next game is AD. And man, AD came to play yesterday. And not only AD, I actually gave the player of the game, in my opinion, to KCP. Caldwell. That boy came to hoop yesterday. Hitting corner shots, making the right plays when he drove to the basket. Defense crashed in. He's throwing it out. He made such a big impact. I think he is the reason that the Lakers won that game yesterday. Because when I tell you Miami, they came out with that same heat. That boy Hero, he had that fire under his belt. Coming off screens, pulling jump shots. And that boy Duncan Robinson, they got a bright future. They played excellent yesterday. It just wasn't good enough to beat the Lakers. But, man, that was a crazy game.
And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. How I'm watching this game, bro, I really believe they winning in spite of Frank Vogel. Like, nothing I've seen from Frank. Like, this man might win an NBA championship, and he's been completely outcoached by Eric Spoelstra. Like, completely outcoached by Eric Spoelstra. Like, fam, to me, this is my biggest thing. First off, how you not starting Rondo? Like, how you not starting? Rondo is hooping. Bro, he need to be the number one point guard on this team, because this thing, he got the rapport with AD. He's built a rapport with LeBron. He knows how to set everything up. He gets everybody in position. Fam, that move alone right there is mind-blowing to me. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think with that one simple move, that's the piece you needed to break everything down. If you got him in there on starters minutes, although he coming in pretty much on some six-man stuff, but if you got him in there setting everything up early, it allows your team to kill people early and destroy their morale. That Heat team came out in game 3, and Jimmy was putting on a show. Jimmy was out here trying to be like, hey, I'm supposed to be here. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. I'm supposed to, I mean, what I saw from him was crazy, but what I saw last night, it just affirmed that there's not, I'm sorry, look, Bam Adebayo is very good. There's not one player in this NBA that can slow down Anthony Davis when he got his mind right. And the only thing that slowed him down in Game 3 was foul trouble. Like,
that boy came to play. I mean, we literally saw him dominating on both sides of the court, blocking shots on one side, coming down, hitting big threes on the other side, just playing out of the paint, being a pest to everybody. I mean, literally on every point of the court, he was effective, and he made a difference. And I think that was also the big difference in the game yesterday. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. LeBron struggled in the first half. I think he had like 5 turnovers, something like that. I don't remember correctly.
Right.
But in the second half, he came out to play. He played outstanding, getting and ones. He was aggressive. Played the game how it was supposed to play from the beginning. And we saw him make the correction in the second half and come out and be more aggressive. And I think that's what they wanted out of him. So that was good. But that game was won by Anthony Davis. The shot, the dagger that got put into the basket was by Anthony Davis, not LeBron James. So I'm going to go with Anthony Davis being definitely the game changer as well with KCP. And like you said, he does look unstoppable. I mean, Bam was really actually playing good defense on him. Him and Jimmy, they're switching off between AD and LeBron, and it's a good switch every time.
Yeah.
It's a good switch. But if you can't stop him, you can't stop him. There ain't much you can do. And on the other hand, AD was making enormously great defensive plays. If he was just affecting people with his presence or even making the block. I mean, the block on Jimmy at the end, that's a tough block. Jimmy puts his body into him, moves him out the way, extends for the layup, and AD still gets a hand on it. So it just shows how versatile AD really is and shows how much of a superstar he is.
Big facts, because AD ended up with 4 blocks in that game and only 22 points, but honestly 22 big points. Now you got to give credit for what LeBron did. Like you said, came out 28 and 12, had a LeBron game, and to me, like you said, the biggest difference in that game was that somebody other than those two came to play. Now AD has to be aggressive. I think that AD also being a scorer puts immense pressure on Miami because, listen, they're kind of you kind of score sometimes, you kind of score sometimes. Like Jimmy went off for 40, and then, last night Jimmy had what, 22? Now it's 22, 10, and 9. Jimmy apparently has turned into a triple-double machine. You know what I'm saying? But it puts immense pressure on the other team to have somebody come out and be a big scorer. When you got AD, when you got KCP going off, when you got Rondo in the game and he's able to score, it puts immense pressure on the other team. And I like what we saw from the Lakers coming out defensively. They didn't come out that same way. They didn't come out with that same struggle. Now, like I said, having AD on the floor makes a big difference. When you got to go in there and it's Dwight Howard by himself, Dwight's a big body. You got some trouble, but he ain't the Dwight Howard from the Orlando Magic. But when you got to go in there and you got Dwight and AD, that's a very different game. That's a very different game.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think a big thing that made a difference in that game is how they played Jimmy Butler as well. Started the game with AD on him, and Jimmy wasn't able to get off to a incredible start like he did in Game 3, going to the basket, driving and being aggressive, because now he doesn't have LeBron in front of him. He has AD, who is a lot bigger and versatile player, can literally play from the 1 to the 5. And being a 5 or a 4, wherever they decide to play him, being able to play Jimmy at that position is just insane. But it slowed Jimmy down. We see that Jimmy only had 22 yesterday. Not that Jimmy is just in it. He can be a prolific scorer, but he chooses not to be. But
the real thing is he started off 5 for 5 and he ended 8 for 17. That's what you really got to look at. Like, he started off the first quarter 5 for 5, and the rest of that game he finishes 8 for 17. So that's really the story there.
Exactly. So we see AD did his job defensively. I mean, they were switching. They were up on the screens. Given the fact that Duncan Robinson was coming off the switches and still hitting crazy shots. I mean, oh my goodness. But overall, they did very well on their switches. They were up. They were playing help defense. The Lakers really, not that Miami deserved to win it any less, but the Lakers deserved to win that game.
Yeah, yeah, and I like what we've seen from. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Miami probably gets Friday's game. Miami probably gets Friday's game. I really believe Miami is probably going to get Friday's game, and then Game 6 is a toss-up, bro, because it's not like LeBron is just going to come out and kill Jimmy, or he's just going to come out and he's going to kill Bam. Like, has he played well? Yeah, 28 points is pretty good. Well, if the man across from you dropped 28 points on your head, you can't go home bragging that night. But 28 points for LeBron is a very contained game. And so we see the effects of what Jimmy we see the effects of what Jimmy, but I mean in that game 3 game, I think I saw a stat from ESPN that Jimmy defended LeBron. Let me see, I might be able to pull it up. I think it's like Jimmy defended LeBron on 33 out of 35 possessions, and I think Bron shot like 3 for 17. I got to see if I can find it. I shared it on Facebook, but you see the effects of what Jimmy Butler can do to the man across from him. It really shows that this Miami Heat's defense can really shake things up in this series. And if they have a game where it's legit clamps, Game 6, I think they're going to get Game 5. I think they're going to get Game 5. Although it did just come out that the Lakers are going to be wearing the Mamba jerseys in Game 5. And they've yet to lose a game in the Mamba jerseys.
Well, jerseys don't dictate how they play. Even though it probably do give them a confident boost, it don't dictate how they play. And it don't dictate how Miami's finna come back at them. After what I seen in that last game, I would agree with you. I think Miami might take Game 5. Maybe. Depends on the help that Jimmy gets. Crowder's been consistent the whole time. I believe Crowder's going to come out. He's going to be consistent. But if they can have a big game from Tyler Hero or another big game from Duncan Robinson like in the last game, I think it'll be enough to take them over the edge in this next game. Because the thing is, you got to think about it. This isn't their first closeout game, but this is it's a first finals closeout game for a lot of players. The first final closeout for AD. So we got to see how AD takes on to the pressure. Not that the fans aren't there and stuff, so there may not be as much pressure, but there's still that pressure there. We'll see how the Lakers come out and how they attack.
And you think, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was gonna say, and you think about how hard they fought in Game 3, and how much they were giving you goat in. And now you put that into Game 5, where it's a closeout game. It's your back's against the wall. You got to play. Here's that stat from Game 3. Says Jimmy Butler defended LeBron James for 32 possessions in Game 3. LeBron had 9 points and 7 turnovers. So Jimmy is going to be that pest. Jimmy is going to be there. The question is, can the rest of this Miami Heat team, can that defense spread throughout them? Because if they give a solid defensive effort, not only can they get Game 5, they can get Game 6, and now it's a pressure game. Now it's a complete pressure game going into Game 7. So I wouldn't count these Miami, because look, they love being a dog. So if you put them in that dog position, you're going to get bit at least once.
Yeah. I think it all boils down to if the Lakers can hold on. Because a lot of times what you see when the Lakers keep it a close game, at the end, LeBron.
The difference is LeBron.
LeBron in the finals. He takes over. Or AD is AD, and he takes over. And really at that point, then it's put on Miami's defense to be able to stop them. We saw yesterday they put LeBron in a beautiful position for and one where he was able to split the double team and go to the basket for and one. Things like that. They were getting offensive rebounds. They out hustled Miami in those last few minutes, and I think that was a big difference as well. You see Rondo going flying for rebounds. You see Caruso. I don't know why they letting Caruso get rebounds, but they seem
Caruso, man. Every time I see this man, I get annoyed, but he's such a bucket.
He is a great player.
I don't know if I go great. He's a really good role player for this Miami team. I mean, for this Lakers team. Yes, he is a great
asset
backup
to have on your team. I wasn't saying he's a superstar or an all-star or nothing by that means, but he's a great asset to have on your team. He's a good player.
Absolutely.
And when he comes in the game, you know he's going to add to your team. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let me ask you this. Us being Chicago people, us being Bulls fans, do you think... Hold on, let me make sure I'm not asking the wrong question right here. Oh yeah. Here we go. Do you think with the hometown tie, Jimmy Butler has left Chicago and become a top 10 player?
I mean, name 9 players better than him in the league right now.
I can name 9 players.
I can probably name 9 players. I would say,
but I don't think I could put a 10th above him.
But I mean, that's a tough question. If you think about it, you got AD and LeBron. I'm gonna put Curry above him. You think about Giannis, James Harden.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great players, but the way Jimmy's been playing at this point, it's hard. It's hard to say, you know. Me being a Bulls fan, I want to put him top 10. I would say he's the top 10. I don't know exactly where I would have him fall. I would probably have to look at his stats and see exactly how he did against everybody. But, I mean, you just think about the impact he's had on his Miami Heat team. This is a team that is so young. They have a rookie who's 20 years old starting in the finals.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, there has to be somebody leading that. And you know that Jimmy Butler is that person. So obviously, just because he's not putting up points like a James Harden or like a KD would even put up points, he's making an impact in a bunch of different ways. Defensively, he's one of the best players on the court every game, if not the best player on the court. So he plays both ends, and I think I would probably put him top 10. I mean,
so here's my
other players. You got Kawhi. At this point, I wouldn't put Paul George over him. And
I think that's who he replaced. I think Paul George was 10 coming into the season. I think that's who he replaced as number 10. So here's my players that I got ahead of. No order, but these are the players I got ahead of them. KD, Bron, AD, Kawhi, Steph, Giannis, Luka, Harden, and Jokic. I think those are your top 10 players in the NBA. And then Jimmy's number 10. No particular order.
He's better than Jamal Murray?
I think he's better than Jamal Murray because I think Jimmy doesn't score like Jimmy can score. Like, I think 40-point Jimmy, we could see that much more often, but it doesn't fit what they do in Miami. And I think Jimmy gives you all the options. Look, Jimmy's putting up triple-doubles in the finals. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it on the biggest stage. He's giving you 10 boards. He's giving you 10 assists. He's giving you 25 to 40 points again. Like, I think what we saw from Jimmy in this entire playoffs is that he'll play whatever you need him to play for the win. He'll play wherever you need him to play for the win. And I think in Game 3, Eric Spoelstra came out and was like, hey, we need you to score. We ain't got nobody. Everybody dead. Look, they all dead. Score. Like, for real. Like, Bam was out. Dragic is out. Of course, you got Tyler Hero. But look, you got to look at Tyler Hero as whatever he gives you is great because he's a rookie in the final stage. Can you rely on him? Do you want him to give you more? Absolutely. But whatever he gives you, he is a rookie in the NBA Finals. That is pressure. If nothing else, it's self-pressure. There's no fans really, but it's self-pressure. So, to me, Spo coming to Jimmy like, look, it's you. You got to do this. I don't care what anybody. You got to do. We need you to score. And Jimmy was like, bet, I got 40 for you. Here you go. Take the jelly. And I think that's the biggest difference. I think that ability puts him at 10.
And I feel like what he does in the next game will really boil down to who he is as a player as well. I think which Jimmy we see. Well, if he takes this Lakers team to 6 or to 7. That's impressive because you're missing your leading scorer For 2 games, you're missing your leading rebounder, and you were missing your leading assist player. Points, rebounding, and assists.
Yeah.
Those are like the 3 most needed things on the court. So, Dragic was
basketball.
leading scorer. Bam was out. Their leading rebounder and assist player. I did not know that until I found out about that he led them in assists. So having that out, what does that really leave you? That's a big gap to fill. And I believe in Game 3, Jimmy showed us that he can fill that. But now having Bam back, it's a completely different game. We saw that in last game. Last game could have went either way. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if Miami won. I'm not surprised that the Lakers won because they played an excellent game. Both teams played very well. Next game, I feel like it could go both ways as well. If it leans towards Miami, I feel like it'll lean towards them because Jimmy Butler showing that he's a top 10 player. It's going to show up. But as of right now, I believe I will put Jimmy at 10. Like you said, I believe he's number 10. I can't really think of any other players I would want to put above him as of right now.
The only good argument I heard was Dame.
I mean, you have Kemba. Kemba's an amazing player. I wouldn't put him above Jimmy. Westbrook,
only good argument I heard was
put
Dame.
him above Jimmy. The only player I would really consider putting above Jimmy is Damian Lillard. But
that's what I'm saying.
But Jimmy taking his team to the finals this year, I'll put him at 10. Because not saying because if Portland was in the East, he might have Damian Lillard might very well take them to the finals. But
bro, they'd probably be in the finals every year.
So as of right now, I'll put Jimmy in the top 10. I'll put him at 10.
They would probably be in the finals every year if if they was in the East, bro. Like come on now, it's the East, bro. It's the East at the end of the day. But I think the biggest thing that the Bulls are gonna have that Miami's gonna have to do is you gotta attack these mugs early. You gotta attack these mugs often, and you gotta try and punch them in the mouth right off the bat. Friday night's game is going. You said what? Yeah. That's what we saw him doing Game 3. And look, if you got the Lakers playing from behind, that's a very different team. And look, honestly, they're a more beatable team because if AD and LeBron aren't doing it, or they're trying to claw their way back in, yes, can they? Absolutely. They're 2 of the top 10 players in the league. But it's a very different feeling when you up 10 than when you down 5. And especially with the kind of defense that Miami plays, that team that could be a very different game. So you got to try and punch them in the mouth very early and make sure that they don't have that opportunity to claw back. The big question out of everything, because of course it always comes back to this: how are people gonna look to LeBron if he does win this finals? How are they going to look at LeBron? It'll be his 4th championship in 9 appearances, right? No, 10 appearances. His 4th championship in 10 appearances. That's a 400 average. Is he, the GOAT conversation is going to come up, of course. I don't believe you can have a GOAT in the NBA, but how you think people going to look at LeBron after this finals, especially if he do it for Kobe?
Well, if I'm being honest, like you said, the GOAT conversation is going to come up. Looking at it from both sides of the coin, on one side, people are going to say, well, he won this against an injured Miami team, and Miami wasn't the best team in the East. This is the easiest final win LeBron ever had. You're going to hear all of that. You're going to hear LeBron is 4 for 6. But at the end of the day, LeBron is 4 for 6. But he still made it 10 times. Now, with some of those teams that he made it with, he should have not been there. I mean, the first time he made it, I don't even remember the players on his team. So, there's a lot that goes into it. On the other side, you look at it and you say, LeBron has been to the finals has won with 3 different teams. If he wins this year, he's going to win with the Lakers. He would have won with Cleveland and Miami. No other player's ever done that. So it'll be interesting to see how people talk about it. You know, if you're asking me personally, if I feel like he's the GOAT, I feel like he's probably the best player the NBA has seen. I don't know if I want to call him the GOAT. The reason I say he's the best player, and this is what I mean by that, because that could have been a little contradicting. His versatility is unmatched. LeBron's one of the best passers we've ever seen in the game. He rebounds at an amazing level, and his scoring abilities are almost unmatched. I mean, you can't stop LeBron. And his defense, he's an amazing defender. He's literally S-class in every part of the floor. And when we
Did you just give us a video game reference?
Yeah, it was S-class. Yeah, I like that. But and when you look at Jordan,
what kind of armor you got on, Mamba?
When you look at Jordan, he wasn't asked to do all that. Jordan played defense, and Jordan was a scorer. I mean, yes, he could pass and he could rebound, but he wasn't asked to do it at the level that LeBron is. If LeBron doesn't come out and get 10 rebounds and 10 assists, people are looking like, oh, LeBron had a bad game. He has 6 rebounds and 5 assists. That's not a bad game at all. It's just not – it's an unusual game for LeBron.
Right.
So, I mean, it depends on – and the standards that we're holding them to. You know, today's game is a lot different from back then, so it's kind of hard to say. But I would still say he's the best player the NBA has seen because of what he's asked to do. I mean, of course – Michael Jordan's record in the finals is a lot better than LeBron's, but still.
Yeah, I think, to me, he is the GOAT of this generation. And honestly, listen, what he's doing at the age he's doing it is very impressive. The fact that he's in an NBA Finals right now is very impressive. I don't care. The fact that he's still giving top-tier effort in an NBA Finals is very impressive. At his age, is very impressive. And so
Brady a basketball right now.
Look, honestly, but no, Tom winning percentage in the Super Bowl is a lot better though. But to me, you look at Bron and take it for what it is. See, Muzz gets so caught up in the GOAT conversation. Michael Jordan was the best. LeBron is the best. Kobe was the best. And Muzz don't even really mention Kobe. I don't know when Bron passed up Kobe. I don't know when that happened either. But to me, you can't look at the NBA as having GOATs because the game is so completely different. But if I'm looking at it, breaking it down in 10-year spans, listen, from the 2009, this is your king. This is your king. And to everybody that want to say that it's not him no more, it's KD, it's whoever it's Giannis, whoever you want to put that. Look, they not in the finals right now. Now KD hurt. I do think, in my opinion, I think KD is the most unstoppable player the NBA has ever seen. If ever there was a GOAT, if ever that the man is 7 foot tall, dribbles like a point guard, shoots like a shooting guard, and can dunk on you like Dikembe Mutombo. Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. He shouldn't be built like that. But he wasn't playing this year. So he don't get to have his name in the ring right now. He don't get to have his name in the hat. Oh yeah.
With the Nets and Kyrie and all that stuff that's been going on, it'll be interesting. New coach and Steve Nash.
It's going to be interesting because he's going to be doing it by himself.
They're going to be an extreme contender. I think they'll probably be one of the best teams that we'll see next year. And you're not going to want to see the Nets next year. They're going to be very dangerous. But when we look at what LeBron did, like I said before, LeBron is taking teams to the finals that had no business being there. I mean, the team he had against that Cavs team he had, not even the first time, but when they were playing Golden State, and J.R. Smith ran the ball back out to the three-point line. That team I didn't believe should have been there. I don't think they should have been there. That wasn't the Cavs. That was the LeBrons. LeBron willed them to the finals. So it really shows what type of player LeBron is. It really shows how amazing. It just shows how amazing he is as a player. I don't think we'll ever see nobody like him again, but you never know.
Hey, look, we said we would never see we always say we'll never see another player like this. We said we'd never see another player like Michael Jordan, and then Kobe Bryant arrived. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, LeBron's built like a linebacker, and he can literally do everything on the court. I don't know. Next person I would say that's built like LeBron that we seen come in kind of is Zion, but I don't see Zion being a LeBron. So
yeah, I don't see Zion being the facilitator that LeBron is. Man, it's gonna be crazy to see him come up too. That's gonna be wild, bro. But so what? At the end of the day, man, what's your finals prediction, man? What you got finishing it?
I believe that Miami is going to lose 4-2 in Game 6. That's what I think.
So you got them getting Game 5, and then they lose in Game 6.
I do have them getting Game 5, just because I feel like they're not the team to go out easy, and the pressure's going to be on the Lakers to close the series. And I think Miami will be able to get another one out of them. Of course, it all depends on how big Bam is and if they're able to stop AD. But I do believe that Miami can win a Game 5, take it to 6, and I think LeBron James is going to take over. But that's just what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think last week I picked Lakers in 6. It's crazy that a whole NBA Finals has gone by since the last podcast. But I think I picked Lakers in 6, and I'm going to stick with that, man. I'm going to stick with that. Listen, I think Miami got too much dog in them to lose Game 5. I really do. But at the end of the day, LeBron James and Anthony Davis wear Lakers jerseys. That's the difference in this series. That's the difference.
Duels we've ever seen, if not, I ain't gonna say it's the greatest. But what?
I ain't gonna say it's the greatest, but it's up there.
Say it's the greatest, but
it's in the top 10 picture.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't see too much stopping it. The one thing I don't think this Lakers team could be Golden State when they had KD.
Oh no! I don't think this is
that team. Listen, that team is unmatched. That's probably the greatest team I've ever seen, and that duo with. I'm not even trying to put Clay in there, but the duo just with Curry and KD is.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. If you had a healthy Golden State team this year, it would be Golden State versus Miami. Like. That team, how it's currently constructed and how they already are cohesive, how they play together, you're not beating that. And especially if they was in the bubble and Steph Curry basically just practicing, you're not beating that. There's nothing beating that. And listen, say what you want about Draymond. I don't think Draymond is the end-all be-all either. Draymond is probably one of the few people that can give AD a little go on the defensive end. AD still probably work him out, but he can give him some go. Let's get into the last little bit of segment here. The segment is called Cap or No Cap. This is a Chicago Sports podcast. We do have Chicago themed things. This is the part where I ask my guest, in this case, Bando, cap or no cap on 3 questions. Now, first question, Bando. The Chicago Bulls regret letting Jimmy Butler go. Cap or no cap?
I'm going to say cap. And that's a very iffy cap. But the reason I say cap is because what the Bulls are building now, man, they could be a threat. And they're actually going to get a coach that's not probably the worst coach I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Jim Boylan was literally the epitome of terrible. He was such a bad coach. It wasn't even funny. Literally the worst Chicago coach I've ever seen. I mean, it's just horrible. But they're getting a coach now. They're getting everything new behind them. They're starting fresh. I think with a young Zach LaVine behind them, and that boy is dangerous too. That man, Zach, is dangerous. You look at Kobe White, and a lot of people talk about Ja Morant. They talk about, right now we're talking about Tyler Hero and Zion, but Kobe White came off the bench and was putting up 30 balls in games. I mean, the future is so bright for the Chicago team looking forward. I just need them to make one cut and just cut Felicio. I don't understand why he...
Bro, Hey, this is 2 podcasts in a row that has been said.
But I mean, if they think he's worth being there, as long as you don't play him, I'm cool with it. You can pay him, just don't play him.
Hey, bro. Hey, that's hilarious. That's 2 podcasts in a row that we have said. I literally said last week I need AK to come through with that sickle one more time and just take Felicio out at the knees. Oh, man. Question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, no disrespect to Felicio, probably a great guy, but man, I'm sorry, you just ain't cutting it on the court. You be looking goofy, dog.
Boy, I heard he be stunting like he the best thing to ever come out of Brazil when he go back home too.
He may be one of the best things to come out of Brazil, but we in America.
He ain't no Anderson Varejao. I said he ain't no Anderson Varejao.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, he lost that one too.
Question number 2. Matt Nagy isn't the offensive guru he claims to be. Cap or no cap?
No cap. That man, first off, Matt Nagy, I'm still debating if we going to have him next year. When I see what other offensive coordinators are doing in the league and how they're putting their quarterbacks in a position to be successful, I mean, I just look at the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes is getting put in a position to be successful every time he comes out. He's being put in plays where he's comfortable. He looks good. When we look at Matt Nagy, he runs all these, what's it called? The XFL plays. It's not
the
working.
arena football.
Yeah, it's not working. Like, I need you to be a more consistent offensive coordinator, and I need you to have Nick Foles in a position where he can be comfortable. Because we know what Nick Foles can do. We've seen him do it in a Super Bowl. But if he doesn't feel comfortable, he's not going to be in a position to do that. So I think Matt Nagy needs to get it together, or he going to be getting his stuff together to get up out of Chicago. So.
Oh, man, this last one, I feel like we kind of had the conversation, but we know that GOAT debate is going to come up. Even if LeBron wins, cap or no cap, he still won't be considered the GOAT.
No cap. That debate is always going to be an open debate, and it's really nothing that you can ever say factually that one player is better than another, because we never going to see LeBron James play against Michael Jordan. Right. It's just not going to happen. I mean, they could play, but Michael Jordan probably ain't in the condition he was when he was.
Hey, Mike still might give him 10, though. Mike still might give him 10.
It's possible. I wouldn't put it past him, but, Mike a little older now. But I'm gonna say no cap, just because when we look at the situation, there's always gonna be people that's gonna put LeBron down. Probably more people put him down than bring him up, which is tough. But I mean, he do stuff that kind of make you mad sometimes. But overall, you can't take away from what he does. But to say he's the GOAT, that's a hard thing to say. So I'm gonna say no cap on that one too.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Cap or No Cap. We want to thank Bando for pulling up to the show. We appreciate you for coming back through, Brody. Look, we got to have you on more often now that we got Zoom. You ain't doing nothing with your life. No, I'm just playing. He actually doing big things. He actually doing big things out here, man. I'm proud of little bro, man. But it's good to have you back through, man. We appreciate you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the show, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Make sure that you enter the Love for Love giveaway. Check the link below to find out how to enter. It will be the Gleam link. It will also say right next to it, giveaway entry. So I kind of tried to make it as easy as possible for y'all. So make sure y'all enter that. Click the link. It'll take you to a page. You can do everything you need to do. And then, man, you can enter once a day. Like, that's what I don't think Muzz understand that. Every time you enter, it gives you a better chance at winning. So you can enter once a day. So yeah, just go ahead, enter that. Make sure that y'all get in tune with that. And then yeah, man, we gonna get up out of here. It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Thank you, Bando, for pulling up. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.